We are live. We are live. We are live. What's up? What's up, everybody? And welcome to Hits and Heels, the Dallas Cowboys women's analysis of the Dallas Cowboys. What's up?
Uh,
What's up? I got Kelz with the intels, Kelli Collins, and your girl Tiffeany Roderick of the First and 10 LLC. So let me introduce my guest. So first of all, Kelz with the intels. When I tell you she's gonna have all the tea, all the gossip, all the juice, all the everything about the Dallas Cowboys. She got the front office on speed dial. And then my girl Tiffeany, listen, we all three of us are diehard Dallas Cowboys fans. So y'all can't don't come up in here with all that foolishness up in here because you'll get blocked real quick. If you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, yeah, make sure you tap in. But don't nobody else, don't y'all come up in here with no foolishness. We Dallas Cowboys fans, and we get ready to talk about our Cowboys. So listen, Kales with the intels, is you gonna get us? Where do we start? First of all, we should have won.
yes.
Tell Ceedee Lamb to catch the daggone ball.
I'm like, so
Catch the ball, CD.
I'm like, the Eagles gave us
Yes,
so
so
many
many
opportunities,
opportunities.
and we could not capitalize on it. Now, what I can say is, I'm pulling up my notes from the pre-game and the post-game, so I'm gonna be interweaving a lot of that stuff. um I like how we stuck with the game plan, even though the playbook for Shoddy was disrupted with the whole Jalen Carter spitting thing. Because
Yeah.
so much, I mean, the game could have been over for that 6 seconds. Because I'm like, so much stuff happened within the 6 seconds, And we're gonna talk a little bit about that
We're
too
gonna talk about that.
later. But I like how we stuck to the game plan. Shoddy called, even with the craziness, he called an excellent game. His percentile was between 42 and 50%. um Dak was wonderful. I Dak killed it. Now it would have helped if Fergie and CeeDee Lamb would have caught those passes, and he dropped perfect balls to them, and it dropped. And his passer rating was 90% for this game
With those drops.
with those drops.
Yes, yes, yes,
90%
yes,
passer
yes.
rating. Um, so even with the loss, I knew it wasn't going to be a blowout. I was teetering between 24-21 or 31-27. Of course, going to the Eagles way. And the only reason why I said that, it had nothing to do with the Micah trade and all that other stuff. Because I knew back in February that the Cowboys was going to be playing the Eagles, because it came out the week that Shoddy was hired as the head coach that the Philadelphia Eagles will be kicking off the NFL season. Jerry put a petition in for the Cowboys to play the Philadelphia Eagles. So my wonderful connections, I said, so can I drop this or not?
I told you you got the front office on speed dial.
Yeah. So I was like, can I drop this or not? And they said yes. So the other show that we was getting ready for the pre-draft, for the draft shows and everything, I said, I got some tea for y'all. We will be playing the Philadelphia Eagles for the kickoff for Thursday night in Philly. They was like, oh, no. I said, okay, okay, okay. So when the schedule dropped, the week that the schedule dropped, which was in May, Philly will be hosting the Cowboys for the start of kickoff. And I was sitting on the show like this. I told y'all this in February. This is May. So with the whole coaching changes and all that other stuff, and we was, free agency, new players, and we're going into the draft. I said, there's so many moving parts with this team. I don't know if it's going to be gelled enough for us to win this game. So it was not, because they the Super Bowl champs and they got Well, I said Philly has some deficiencies too. Granted, 17 of the 22 players that was on the Super Bowl winning team, they was able to accrue them back. So they lost 5 due to free agency and retiring. So they still
losing Kelce was huge.
Yeah. So and Kelce didn't play this Super Bowl. They had, who was their new center? Jurgensen. Is Jurgensen?
Yeah.
Yeah. So so he, of course, he's back. So they still had majority of the core. But my main concern was and what I said in my notes was that where is it? This is not it. I told you I got so much notes. Here we go. My issue with us not winning, it wasn't so much of, some of it had to do with the offense, because one thing about Jalen Hurts, he is a menace and he is a problem when he finds himself getting out of the pocket and out of containment. That is where he is dangerous.
He really is.
Because it's been a couple of times during this game that the pocket collapsed and he went in for the touchdown.
I think he does a great job of stepping into the pocket.
Yes. My issue with us not winning is that freaking defensive coordinator they got, Vic Fangio. And I'm just going to, and anybody that's listening and watching, you can Google and study this on your own, because it's a dissertation when I broke it down. Fangio is Dak Prescott's arch nemesis.
What?
Yes, because Vic Fangio knows that Dak Prescott struggles with one of the covers that he does. Now we all know that Fangio he uses a zone defense, mostly cover 3. Okay. But where Prescott has a problem is when he brings in the cover 6.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And with the cover 6 is a cover 4 on one side and a cover 2
on the other side.
Yes. And Fangio, throughout the season, he only uses it like 19% of the time. But when he faces Dak Prescott,
that percentage goes up.
That percentage escalates to 31%. So the one thing I was looking at during this game was how many times he ran the cover 6. He ran it multiple times. Sometimes, he steadied himself, but then with some other flickers where Dak Prescott, he struggled with it. And so I'm hoping when we meet back up with them in week 12, that we can answer the cover 6 with Fangio. But yeah, I mean, I liked what I saw. Um, one of the things that I can say was there were no pre-snap penalties. And there were in-game adjustments. When was the last time have we seen some in-game adjustments?
I
Even
haven't seen that.
even with the
Yeah,
delay.
yeah. I didn't see that a lot. So Tiffany, what was your assessment of the game?
So I definitely I was proud of Dak. I thought he did a great job. I thought he was poised in the pocket. I do think that we need to engage Pickens more.
Yeah.
Um, I, 1,000%. We need to engage him more. I get the impression that um, he doesn't go for like full pursuit when he's not being engaged in the game, and so I think it would be a good idea to keep him engaged in the game. I liked how they used three tight ends. I mean, I thought our offense did great. I think we certainly need to find an answer to the running quarterback because that's just been the bane of
That
our
killed us.
exactly,
So
exactly.
do you
So
think Micah not being there was an issue for that?
I could feel his
Mhm.
presence not there, but I mean, I definitely think, it makes me sad to talk about it. I was trying to be optimistic, but I can feel his presence not there. But at the same time, I felt like, our defense did a great job of trying to, because Jalen Hurts, he'll see if he has
It's,
something open,
and
and then he's
sometimes,
gone.
like Kelz says, sometimes when it comes to, to Jalen Hurts and Jalen Hurts or Lamar Jackson
Yes,
or Mahomes, it doesn't matter how you read your keys
yeah,
or what. There's nothing that a defensive coordinator can prepare you for when it comes to them. Because even if you put a scout on them, wherever the quarterback goes, that's where you go. It's still
Right.
hmm
it's still difficult because
exactly.
they can peep out. Okay, well, this is the scout, so
Mm,
let's go block the scout because that way our quarterback can do what they need to do. So it's just so difficult to be. And then defense is a guessing game anyway
right.
because you never know what the offense is getting ready to call. So you're just guessing based off of their formations what they're gonna do, and so you just gotta cover according to that. So we just have to have, on defense, you just have to have a lot of IQ and a lot of instincts in order to be good, right? Um Micah had that instinct
Yeah.
to get to the ball over a lot of other players that are just playing the game but don't necessarily have, I don't know, just that instinct about just sniffing out the ball. So I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the pass I can say the pass rush, it did show. But what even with Micah, because I mean, even Micah has some deficiencies too, but you
Yeah.
can hide and cover um with if we had a good nose tackle. Um,
Mhm.
but
I just don't think we've ever utilized. When was the last time we had a really good nose tackle? That was just a dog.
well, when we had
When was the
recent,
last
I
time?
want to say recently, Hank, Big Hank, that we got from the Chargers, not the
Hmm.
Chargers. He was with the Raiders. He was good. With clogging the hole. And Carl Watson that we had.
Okay.
Uh, but
I
if
just
it
don't
comes,
feel like sometimes we don't get enough pressure on the center, um, in order to disrupt that whole thing. And I know that that's hard. That's why I said, when's the last time we had just somebody that just really was so disruptive up front
disruptive,
like
yeah.
that? Yeah. And
But
just
that Marshawn Nealon,
he was, yeah.
That was good.
he was good.
Okay. So my daughter said, did we cover CD kept dropping the ball after he begged for the ball? Did he beg for the ball? All I know is this boy made sure he made his money, and I think he needs to earn his money. That's all I'm gonna say on it. on CeeDee Lamb.
I don't
I was
think he
disappointed
did.
that he
I
didn't
don't
catch
think
the ball.
he did too
Earn
much
your
begging.
money.
I know a lot of the play calling with the playbook, it did request a lot of CeeDee Lamb. Um,
Hmm. And what we're paying him, it should be. You don't think so?
right, because he's the
He's
WR
the
one.
premier. Yeah, he's the
Yeah, the
premier
WR1.
receiver and the go-to.
You playing
And
the Philadelphia Eagles, your playmakers got to make plays.
Got to make plays,
That's
yeah,
why you're
and that's
playing
all
them.
I sis.
Hmm.
That's all I'm saying. Big time
Yeah.
play. I tell my son, big time players step up in big time games. You're
Hmm.
playing the Super Bowl champions
Yes.
and our conference rivals, and you got to step up in this game. And it was the first game of the season. Come on,
yeah,
Yeah.
it's no bigger than that. So yes, if you're a big time players step up in big time games.
yeah. And
I like how he. Sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I like how he took accountability. He owned it.
Yes, he
You
owned it.
know, Kelz,
He
you
didn't
may
give
be
it.
able to confirm this,
Yes,
but there were rumors that he was out there the next day by himself. Trying to
throwing
practice
passes.
and pick up where he missed. So yeah, I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
yeah. No, I saw that. I mean, I knew that's what he was doing because I got the text message. But
Mhm.
what threw people off about that post, I said this is a picture from training camp. I'm not disputing that because I knew that was true. I actually have the picture with him on the jug machine with his helmet and
Right.
a black
Right.
tank on. I actually have that picture that was sent directly to me on my phone.
Kells with the intel.
Yeah. But my thing is, if you're gonna post something, post the actual context with it. That was
Yes.
because
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Make,
like,
make it make it match. Make it make
yeah,
sense.
like
Yeah,
make the words
absolutely.
match the picture. You know,
Yes.
it's like that's a picture from training camp.
Yeah. Don't try to uh, paint a picture now that's
Right.
current, and then that's some old footage. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hands down. Yeah. Hands down.
Yeah. So
Hands
yeah,
down.
he took accountability of it. But Ferg is not off the hook because Dak threw some nice ones to him.
And he dropped them too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um,
But
that Javon.
again, I think this was the first game that I didn't get mad at Dak
Good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and be like, okay, Dak, we're paying you too much money for you not to be a little bit more accurate.
Yeah, and I
But I
think
thought he was on. I thought he was on point on this one.
the difference with this year and next year, I mean this year and the last couple of years, and I'm gonna be real with you, Dak was uneasy with the offensive line.
He didn't trust his line,
He didn't trust his line.
Mhm.
and that makes a difference.
Yeah.
When you're in the pocket and you don't know if you're going to be protected or not, is
Mm-hmm.
a whole nother level of anxiety.
Right.
Especially after taking that nasty ankle injury.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's traumatizing to be
Right.
able to have an injury like that. You know what I mean? And to come back from it, you're gonna have some PTSD from that.
Right.
Right.
So
And
if you don't
all
feel like your line is going to cover you, well, to me, then you should have been doing a better job of y'all got to do some bonding. You need to up the ante on your Christmas gifts or something to make sure that them jokers that we like.
and see, and that's the thing because he has had the whole line, the offensive line, the tight ends, the running backs, and every wide receiver. Well, his house is getting redone and everything, but the backyard that he got in the back.
The
So
backyard.
he actually got a football field in the back of his house. It's called the backyard.
Is
And
it turf?
no, it was actual grass. I
Oh
want to
wow.
say it's actual grass.
A
So
hundred yards
I think it's
or
60.
like a half a field?
It's probably like half a field, but it's
Okay,
big though.
but it's big.
It
Okay.
it is big. So so they practice on the backyard and everything. But then also for the I want to say since 2017 or the 2018 season, he turned in from a mobile quarterback to a quarterback that was not playing in his position.
What?
So they were making him a pocket quarterback. He is not a
Right.
pocket quarterback. He has
Quarterback.
never been a quarterback. If you look at his Mississippi State tapes, it proves to you that he is
He was
not
not a
a
pocket
pocket
quarter.
quarterback, because when
Gotcha.
we got him, he was a solid 265 pounds. When
Mm-hmm.
I saw him, when he came up to one of the hotels in DC, I can say it now because they don't go there, but the Westin Hotel that's in Old Town Alexandria in Virginia, when I got close to him, I looked, I said, dang, you huge. Tall, big,
Yeah.
like, like
Wide body.
Debo.
Yeah.
Yeah, Debo. And he can push a D line. But
Yeah.
then, some people named Gerald Wayne Jones Sr. said, oh no, we're going to make you a pocket quarterback.
But I think that kind of goes back to the whole. I mean, the in the nation that we're in right now, they're trying to take us back to there, and it's so hard for, when we don't, especially at the Dallas Cowboys, when we don't have African American coordinators, it's really difficult. I think it's still difficult for people to think that quarterbacks can be intelligent enough to be a pocket quarterback or whatever like that. But I think, I mean, what is 16? This we set the record this year.
Yeah,
16 quarterbacks starting on
Mhm.
teams this year,
I've
and
been saying 15 and a possible
15.
because one is having issues or can't remember that he is black. He got some black in him. But that's a whole different subject.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so 15 and a half.
Or in the
So
NFC East.
15 and a half, right? But I think that that's still, because even here where we lived, there's some coaches that I don't know what it is, but they just refuse to give the black quarterbacks an opportunity.
yeah.
Right. So I think that there still is some of that mindset, and they don't know that they have that mindset. You know what I mean? So I'm not, I'm not trying to justify their ignorance, but it's just the way it is. But I just we talked about did we talk about that last week about offensive
Hmm.
coordinators? That's what I
Yeah.
so last week, Tiff, I talked about, because I'm an offensive coordinator now. So,
Yes.
my husband had gotten mad at me because he was like, well, you need to get your, I said, well, how am I supposed to get my offense together when I haven't seen my players yet?
Right.
I said, I can't put an offensive book, a playbook together until I see what I'm working with. I said, how come all offensive coordinators don't do that? Right. And then I didn't know that everybody just already comes with their playbook. And then they expect the quarterback and the team to um, accommodate or to heal to their playbook instead of figuring out what their skill set is and then
Hmm.
figuring out plays that complement their skills. So I think that's the reason why sometimes you see quarterbacks, you're like, they're good. I don't understand. Perfect example. How is Justin Fields playing lights out since he's been with the Steelers and since he's with the Jets? But they made it seem like he didn't know what the heck he was doing when he was with Chicago. Right. So I don't know. So give Dak. Hey, V Reese, how you doing? How
Hey
about them
sis,
Cowboys?
my condolences. My condolences.
So you know what I mean? And so I just don't, I don't know. My
But
husband says
I
that's why
mean,
that's why he's a defensive coordinator and he's a defensive person. He said because offensive coordinators get on his nerves.
Yeah, I and we could have had a black defensive coordinator. But I
We
think that was
turned him down or we passed over him
no
or
when
didn't give him an opportunity to interview.
no
mm,
no before McCarthy decided that he wasn't going to stay for the for as being head coach, Joe Witt, who is now with the Washington Commanders. He was going to make him the defensive coordinator because Mike Zimmer decided to retire. So, but Jerry was giving everybody, the 1 year, basically like the 1 year deals to prove yourself. Then the next season, I'll extend that contract to 4 or 5 years. But people have families and other obligations and stuff. What is 1 year going to do?
Right.
Yeah.
So and Mike McCarthy wasn't going to put his staff through that. If you're going to extend me for 5 years, I need my team to be with me for 5 years.
Yeah.
And that's when I guess Jerry said no, I can't do that, and then that's when Mike McCarthy was like deuces. So for him not staying, that really threw Jerry in for a loop because he was not even expecting that.
He wasn't expecting Mike
Mike
McCarthy to
McCarthy.
walk.
Because he didn't sign the deal yet. He didn't sign his contract yet.
Where's Mike at now?
Chilling at home.
Chicago?
Chilling at home.
I think the smart offensive coordinators are getting quarterbacks that have the ability to be mobile. Period. I mean, if you look at the
Period.
Josh Allens, the Joe Burrows, and even little
Lamar
JJ last
Jackson.
night used his
Yeah.
legs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Little JJ was bobbing his head.
I mean, I
they're-
agree.
they're so
I don't think you
fast.
could be a successful quarterback if you can't make plays with your legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it really gives defenses fits when if you're just sitting in a pocket, oh, that's a totally different defense than if you're not, because now you're gonna have to play more almost more man as opposed to a zone, because or you have to play zone. I mean, I don't know. You see what I'm saying? It depends on who you are. You either have to play more zone if you want to play man, because you have to make sure that you're able to contain this quarterback in the event that he runs.
Yeah.
Or can you match up man to man and put a scout on him so that no matter where he goes, there's always somebody that's going to be that's already assigned to him in the event that he runs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
And that's what and that's what Flus did a lot of with the Eagles game. He ran a lot of zone.
Yeah.
And then he did one play where it was a mix of zone and man to man. I was like, okay, Flus, welcome back to the start.
And you almost have to, because it's hard to go. It's hard. It's going to be hard to guard. I mean, who in the league can guard CD or Pickens one-on-one? It's not. It's not a lot. I mean, it's a couple.
I was hoping for them to put Ringo out there because CeeDee Lamb or Pickens would have had a field day.
Field day, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
that didn't happen. They put they had their top corners and safeties out there.
And every team has to put their top corners and safety. And if they're injured, if the number two ain't, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
If their number two ain't up to par with those ones, it's gonna be a wrap going up against Pickens and CeeDee Lamb if the Joker catches the daggone ball.
I was like,
look at my face.
This you should have saw me. I was like, I could have caught
catch the ball. One, I give you 1. 3.
No, 4.
4.
Yeah, he dropped the first one. He dropped when he was in the slant.
So was he trying to say? Was he trying to say that he was emotional because something happened? His grandma passed or somebody.
I heard that. Was that confirmed?
But I didn't see that. I didn't confirm that. But I saw. I think I saw that But you just glance over stuff, and so you just kind of have to discern what's real and what's unreal. Or I have no idea if there was any truth to that. But I don't want to hear no excuses. We pay you too much money. You beg for this money. Earn your money, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you're out there, play. You can't play.
And see, that's why I said Philly gave us so many
So many opportunities.
on offense and then on defense, because I mean it kind of hurt my little fantasy points, but we held Saquon Barkley to under 100 yards on the ground.
Because he getting ready to run over everybody.
Mhm.
Yeah, and don't let him, because he will.
Facts. And he will. Yeah. So
There's
the
no
fact
one-
that we contained him under 100 yards, I think was huge. Definitely a big win for the defense.
Yeah, and I didn't like.
And what did
that
Smitty do? I didn't look at the stats.
he
I
went like
should have.
he went like ghost. I want to say he went ghost after
But
the.
that's what I'm
after the
saying.
delay.
Like I didn't see a whole lot from their playmakers. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, okay, so if their playmakers didn't hurt us, who did? And why weren't we? All I know is
Hurts. Well, it was Jalen
Yes.
Hurts.
it was
They have
Jalen Hurts. Yeah,
The
it was
Eagles have the
yeah.
biggest offensive line in the league, and so that gives him that flexibility to do whatever.
Right. Yeah. Jalen was the one that hurt us. You know,
And then
because
they decided. And then I do have Devontae Smith. I do have Smitty on a couple of my fantasy teams.
Mm-hmm.
And I have AJ Brown, and they decided to put AJ Brown in towards the end of the fourth quarter. And I'm like, well, shoot. I mean, my scores are basically But and one thing I can say that I did like about this game, we only had 4 penalties.
Yeah.
For 42.
I like that. That's pretty good.
Because we could rack up like 11 million penalties in one game.
Easily.
Mm-hmm.
Easily. And it's hurt us in the past.
Yeah.
Yes. Because penalties can also make you lose the game because of so that's one thing.
So that's what I said. That's what I was like. Why would you, when you go against a quarterback that's running, I don't know how you not have a spy.
So that was one of the
on defense.
Where is that? Hold on.
And I hope we don't forget that Russ can run this week, because he can and he will.
Girl, y'all know I gotta get on here so I can get caught up, because I have no idea what we got. Who we got this week?
The
Giants. We will talk about that, but
and Russ can run the ball.
Right. And what?
Okay. So with the Giants, so y'all know. So is it 17 Robinson? So he came from Kentucky, and I'm cool with his family, and and he's a dog.
See, the thing, it's not the position players.
Yeah,
they got a
line.
They got a booty juice offensive line.
Yeah. So if they got a booty juice offensive line, that means we need to expect Russ to run the ball.
Right.
Yeah. Because he's going to be running for his life.
Right. And here's the thing, even though Brian said that he will be starting this week as the QB1, they really haven't solidified their QB1.
Interesting.
The Giants have?
No, they just, because if you watched it when we was getting ready to go into week 1 for all teams, this is what Brian DeBall was saying.
Okay.
Russell Wilson will be starting as our QB1.
Okay.
Against Washington, and Jackson Dart.
Jackson Dart. He came from Ole Miss. Yeah,
Yeah,
we tore his butt up last year. Oh, Miss.
right. He'll be the QB2 against the Commanders, and Jameis Winston will be the
Is
emergency QB.
QB three.
So,
Oh,
so if you're
QB 3.
doing this by week to week, so basically you're running a quarterback back committee system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
So
So, but, I mean,
I'm optimistic this
I
week.
kind of like that though. You know what I mean? Because everybody has different schemes, and so sometimes you might have a quarterback that their skill set is just a better fit for a certain team, and the
right,
scheme and their defensive schemes that they run.
yeah. And I was watching the interview because I mean, I I still watch what our opposing teams doing. And one thing
Of
I can
course.
Mhm.
say about the Cowboys is we have a dynamic media team. I see some other teams trying to do what we're doing, but I live the often duplicated, never imitated model and everything. I haven't seen the Giants on the level that we are with media, where you have the media talking to this, that, and the third. But listening to his presser, I was like, he's really not confident in
Mm.
And none of his
quarterback.
quarterbacks.
So that's why I'm like, he doesn't have a solid QB for the season.
Yeah.
And my thing is, I can't throw shade on that, because look at how many times we have done a a wide receiver by committee, a running back by committee, or a cornerback. So I mean, I'm not in no position to talk and everything, but at least with us, I just don't know. He just didn't have no confidence in it. But little Russ can run.
Well, you
Russ
know
can
He
who's
run.
going to have confidence this week? Dak, because
mm-hmm.
Dak is 7-1 against the Giants at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to walk in there with confidence, and I'm excited to see get our first win, hopefully this week.
Oh Lord, we don't need to be going into the season 0-2.
But the one
No.
thing, but the one thing I can say, like, yeah, the Giants are booty juice. The whole team is booty juice. But whenever they come in contact with a team named the Dallas Cowboys, they play as grimy, hard, and dirty.
Yeah.
So, and one thing I can say is that this year's New York Giants is not last year's New York Giants.
Mhm.
Right.
I want our offensive line, and I have to give props to our offensive line for the Eagles game, because they kept Dak upright in his jersey, besides the spit, clean. He did not get sacked. They gave him
No.
time in the pocket where he was patient, and he could read the field and everything, so he could air the ball out or give his running back the opportunity to have a clean run. I want them to do the exact same thing when Abdul Carter tries to get in his way. I need for Tyler Booker to knock the block off of his head.
Well, let's hope so. But Mr. Brown said that platoon quarterbacks offset the rhythm and timing of the receivers. Yes, they do. And the
Yeah.
Giants is a franchise that has not had a star quarterback since Eli.
Yep. And
Yeah.
speaking of, so I have a question.
Uh-oh.
This is a commercial break, a little Cowboys commercial break.
Uh-oh.
So was Danny Dimes actually the problem?
No, I mean I don't know
Because
if you're talking about me, but he's Indiana Jones now. He's Indiana Jones now, so you might be
listen,
right. You may have a point there.
I called I
What?
called one of my sorority
I
sisters
mean,
who
I don't know. Danny wasn't the problem, don't sound like.
That's what I'm saying.
I know. That's what I'm saying. To me, it's a similar situation, like kind of with Justin. They felt like Justin Fields was a problem in Chicago, so they brought in your boy from South Carolina. Um, but they've been thriving since they've been away from that organization. Danny's been thriving since he's been away from New York.
Yeah, because I think this is his women. Was he traveling last year?
I don't remember.
Or
If
was
he
he?
did, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, but I called my sorority sister. I said, "Girl, I need your username and your password so I can watch this Indianapolis
Yeah.
Miami game because I thought they was going to do the encore of the game like between yesterday and today, but when I didn't see it in the lineup." And I called her. I was like, "Yeah, I need your username and your password because I need to see this game." So I'm on my iPad and I'm watching this game. I'm like, "So was
Danny the problem
was
again.
Dan
I
the
think I
problem
think
or not?"
it. Oh, Mr. Jones said that Jones wasn't relevant last year. Because I don't remember nothing about Danny Jones last year, but he seemed like he's got it together this year.
Yeah,
But does he have a new offensive coordinator?
I think Indianapolis still has the same
Do they have the
OC.
same coordinator, or did the offensive coordinator in the offseason go and assess the skill set of his quarterback and go get and revamp his program to benefit his quarterback?
Yeah,
Girl,
that
I'll
could be
talk about
it.
that. When I tell you, I'll drive that into the ground till the
That could be it.
yeah.
If you
Because
haven't had
something's
a
happened. There's been a shift.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's been a shift, and I would love to know what it is. I might have to do, Mr. Brown. We might have to do our research on that to see whether or not he's got the same offensive coordinator, or if he got a new offensive coordinator, or if the offensive coordinator just threw his playbook out the window and went and made sure that he got a playbook that matches the skill set of his quarterback.
yeah,
Sharon Jacobs said the O line was in on point a few times.
yeah.
Terry, to piggyback on what you said, if you haven't had a chance to watch Johnny Manziel when he's on Shannon Sharp's
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Shannon Sharp's podcast, he
Club Shay
talked
Shay.
about Club Shay Shay, yes.
Okay, I'm
Um,
sorry. I really don't want to plug his podcast on my
I have
podcast.
not, I have
Okay,
not in months, but that was a really good one.
but it's a
All I
good one.
He
know
So
is
was
we got
because
to.
he had four people to tell him, but nah, he didn't want to listen. But I
talking.
Well, what? Okay, well, give me the tea
go
and
ahead,
what
Tiffany. I can
happened.
drink this nice
No,
water.
no.
Go ahead.
Well,
Johnny
give me the
Manziel
tea.
just talks about his experience as a rookie quarterback and how important it is to have that support. And these, and especially folks in his position that they win, right? And then they go to the situation where,
They're
okay,
not used to
not
winning,
only are you
and
not
they have a
winning.
hard time. But
Right.
breaks beat off of them. Yeah,
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly. It's hard to and and it was really a candid interview where he talked about his emotions around that. You don't really get to hear that a lot, and
oh
how it
yeah,
impacted. Not that he was doing everything right, but if you already have that mentality, well, I got my money, you know what I mean, and you're
yeah,
young, and he was just like, so it is so important to go to the right place and
Yeah.
get that support and have someone to mentor you. I
and
think that's
and
the big
and
one.
I think that that's where, as a good agent, you have to really advocate to where you negotiate where your player goes, because you've got to know what type of offensive coordinator that you're dealing with, or you got to know what type of defensive coordinator you're dealing with.
Yeah.
So for instance, so my son had a great game. He Y'all know my baby was honorable mention as National Defensive Player of the Year, the Jim Thorpe Award.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Right. He had two back-to-back interceptions, co-led the team in tackles with 10 tackles. But I'm saying that to say that him going to Kentucky was easy because Frederick Douglass, where he went to school at, had a coach that ran a lot of Kentucky's defense. So when Ty went to Kentucky, it
Mhm.
was easy for him to pick up the playbook because he was already familiar with it because they ran, like a watered down version of that during high school. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
So
like you said, I just that just, and that's why I advocate for more women being in these football positions, because I don't know how that's not common sense.
yeah, and I've been
My
following.
husband said I'm a man basher. I'll be like,
No, but you know what though? I like the last couple of years a few years where you have seen women thriving in this quote unquote male
males
dominated
up their space.
sport
Yeah.
and everything. And here, like, I've been following Jennifer King. She used
Yeah.
to play for one of the Washington football teams called Washington Prodigy.
Hmm.
And I want to say she was a quarterback. I can't remember what her position was when she was with
I think she was.
Prodigy.
I think she was a quarterback when she was
Quarterback.
with the women's team.
And
Quarterback,
then
because she's also like a running back coach. So she
coach,
also,
yeah,
so she was a running quarterback.
right. And when Riverboat Ron, when he became the coach here, he got her and
Yeah.
everything. And then when he left,
She went to
she went to
Chicago,
Chicago, and
and
now
now
she's
she's the
in the
offensive
media.
analysis for North
Yeah,
Carolina State University, I believe.
I want to say that, or but she's moving. She's shaking and moving.
Yeah, I think she's an offensive analysis. I think for North Carolina State. I'm
Yeah,
I'm
and,
pretty good.
and I
I'm pretty
can't.
close. If that's not it, I'm close.
Yeah, and I can't think of her name right now, but the president of the Las Vegas Raiders,
Yeah.
I want to say she's a HBCU alum, but she's also a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
Okay.
She's doing big
I love
things.
what she's doing. She's doing big
Yeah.
things. So
Um.
Lori Locust, who started with Tampa as the assistant defensive line coach, I believe, and now she's with the Titans. I had a video, a picture, I think my first year, and we lost in a championship game, and I had posted it. I don't know, and it went viral. And she found it, and she inboxed me, and she was like, "Let me know how far you want to go with this."
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yeah. And
Hey.
so then when my women's team played at the Titan Stadium last year, I hit her up. I was like, "Coach, well, she was like, girl, I gotta go. We gotta go watch this film right after the game, right after the game." And I was like, ugh, I was kind of hoping that I would be able to meet her in person.
Person, yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I've been wanting to meet her in person.
And
Well,
I've been,
all of the coaches. And then I don't think she just had a double knee surgery or something like that. Is Colette. She was with the Jets.
I know who you're talking about. I can't think of her
Oh
last
my
name.
God. And I'm so I there's no way I should not know these people's names. Right. And so her, and then then there's a couple other ones that are just,
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
and
just in awe that they're in the positions that they are. But we can't be in those positions if there's not an open-minded male that allows them to be, that is open to open up the doors for him. Like, I would not be a coach if my husband didn't have the guts and the courage to
Right.
bring me on as his assistant head coach. And
right.
then this year, to when our offensive coordinator moved and got promoted, went on ahead and made me the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can ever do coaching because I will probably get ejected because how reckless my mouth is. So
Tiffany, what about you? Coaching?
Coaching is not necessarily
That's
my
not in
jam.
your.
It's not
That's
my
not.
jam. I'm more of an administrator kind of deal. So
so
yes.
I went what one of my frat brothers that I'm real cool with,
Mhm.
his at the time his son played little league, right? Lily, sometimes, you got to bring your own tailgate chair and all this other stuff. Well, the area where we could sit, it was close to like the line and everything. And I'm watching the game and stuff. I'm helping calling the play. I'm like, da, 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 da. And then when he was almost like a little Travis Hunter. He would do cornerback or he would do a running back, and they would put him in those whatever the play calls for and stuff. And little baby was going for it. What I do with the other team, that's why that. And then my friend
You
brother
one
was
of
like,
them.
"Oh yeah, I wanted all the smoke, and I was going to."
Oh my God.
So
So, yeah,
after
we had to reprogram our parents. We was like, listen, y'all chill the heck out. We don't do all that.
that's why he told me I could never.
Oh yeah, yeah. We went to a high school game last year, and I'm just like, these folks are volunteering to help your children. Y'all are
Yeah, and
vicious.
y'all are vicious.
You know?
I'm talking about like the coordinators and everything. I'm like, why you got him run? I said, don't you see him running a cover 4? Why you want? I'm like, didn't you see that blitz? And coach is looking at me, and I'm like, what?
Because you should be coaching.
Do your
Because
job.
you know the game. Well, and that's what I
Do
love
your
about y'all.
job.
You both know the game enough to be able to coach it. I'm gonna advocate, even if you don't coach regular football,
Mhm.
girls flag football is the fastest growing sport right now.
It
And
is.
I need more women coaching women's sports. I,
Yes,
I
Yeah.
said it.
I
Man,
love
look at
it.
my face. I said it.
I love it. But yeah, I can't do it. My frat brother was like, yeah, he was like, you can't come back
You
in no
can't
more.
come out.
And I'm talking to his son, and he was like, Kelz, he's only 5. So
Kelz don't play.
I don't. But
To me, said, that's a good man, Savannah.
That's funny.
That
I
is funny.
had
Well,
I
let
had
me
a
go. Let
good
me go
time.
back to this because this is a really good one. When we was talking about the going up to the Giants, the executive branch of the Giants organization have terrible leadership. How the heck they worse? They were almost worse than Jerry Jones. How do you get rid of Saquon Barkley? That's
When
like us letting Micah leave
But I'm trying to think, the year that they let Saquon go, wasn't
and
didn't they
DeMarcus
just
Ware
sign?
That's
leave
when they
and
paid
Marion Barber leave and who else
Danny
we
Jones.
lost? We lost some good ones. Cooper and I mean, God, we done lost
So
some good
so
players.
so here's the thing with DeMarco Murray. I used to call him Mo ass because he just
Girl,
keep, I mean, it's a glorious sight. Trust me. He had a nice little, but
We're not fooling with you, Kells.
but the but the pants just could never stay on. And hey, but anyway, my issue with that was they franchise tag Dez. They wanted to work something out with him, but the money that they were trying to offer Dez, that's what DeMarco Murray wanted.
Mm-hmm.
The issue is Murray, you only gave us one good year. Hey, Fred. That's
One
not
good
the Fred
year.
I was telling you about with the baby.
Which one? Gerald.
Gerald, that's my friend, but that ain't him. I was telling him about your frat brother, how he told me I couldn't no longer go to his 5-year-old son's football game because I was out coaching the coaches and talking trash to the other team. Yeah, really, yeah. Gerald know how I am. But DeMarco only gave us one good year out of the 4 years that we've had him. And you want all this money because you had a stellar 2014 season. Nah.
But I think that as an athlete, that's if you have a good season, you're like, okay, did I earn my right to get paid? You don't think
Right.
that that's legit, or does it have to be 2 years or 3 years? So do you have to have your whole 3 year of your first rookie contract has to be successful or breakout before you feel like that they should get that
Yeah,
big
to
second
me,
contract?
yes, because you got injured your rookie year.
Mm,
You came back for the second year. You got injured. Third year,
mm.
you got injured. The fourth year, you had good. Something happened to your hand where you had that thing like 50,000 pieces of tape wrapped on, but you were still carrying the ball and stuff. Um, but I could see if you had one down year and then you just flourished.
Right. And then all the other years were, I see what you're saying. So
Yeah,
somebody like that, I think I can agree that he shouldn't probably get paid what he thinks he should get paid.
yeah. And then when he
Especially
got
when you've already shown us that you're injury prone. So now we don't ever know whether or not you're gonna get an injury.
right, but then he got to Philly talking about Philly is going to give me the best chance to win a Super Bowl. When I say I laughed so I was like, where's Ashton Kutcher and the pump van?
He's so
But
crazy.
then but guess what? Philly did not even utilize him. Chip Kelly did not even utilize him. The only
But it was
time
Chip Kelly.
Yeah, the only time he had some utilization when it came for the first year that we met up with Philly, but he
Mm-hmm.
was in that terrible trashy green jersey and stuff. Um, but after that, then they let him go,
Mm.
and then they had dead cap because they signed him to a 4-year deal.
Oh wow. Oh wow. I'm just saying you just I don't know. Is there anybody over the last 10 years that you felt should have got paid and we lost them?
DeMarcus Ware.
Marcus Ware. How do you he was better than Micah to me. You know what I mean? Like I think he's been our best defensive player we've ever one of the best one of I can't say the best. One of the best we've ever had. And so how do you let him go?
Well, I know in his position the market went up. And DeMarcus Ware at the time for his position, the highest, he would have gotten at least 13, 14 million a year.
Hmm.
But that position has gone up now, you know,
Yeah.
over the it's been what, a decade.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that 13, 14 million has surpassed in, um like triple that now.
Yeah.
Um but the one
And
thing
and
Jerry
it should.
yeah, and the one
They're
thing
so
Jerry
impactful on the defense.
right. And the one thing that Jerry did was you know, he called the Peyton family. This yeah, Peyton. Was that his name? The owner, the former owner. I know he passed the
Oh, the former owner of the
yeah, I want to say his name is Peyton.
Denver.
Yeah, but he called the family. Because I think around that time, that's when the owner started having like early onset Alzheimer's and dementia. So they talked to the son
Mm.
and the daughter, and then they also talked to Wade Phillips because he was the
Mhm.
defensive coordinator at that
This
time.
time. Mhm.
Um, at Denver, but he was also the head coach, and he's very familiar uh with DeMarcus Ware because Wade Phillips is a defensive mind coach, and it wasn't a trade.
Wasn't he with Dallas?
Yeah, he was the head
He
coach.
was the head coach. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's
Before
also
before DeMarcus or after?
he went
I don't remember. I
he
just remember
went
him
to
being the head coach.
so he went to he got he went to Denver the year before DeMarcus Ware came. So they made the call and everything to offer a contract because they had the money and they had the cap space. They offered the contract to DeMarcus Ware because Jerry wanted him to go to a better system that can use him, and they needed that missing piece.
I mean, they got a championship out of it, like Gerald said.
Yeah,
He
that following
he
year.
wasn't going to get a ring in Jackson. That following year,
No.
he left, went to
Yeah,
and got a ring.
yep,
Yeah.
because they went to the Super Bowl in 49 and then they went back in 46. 46 and 50. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so Jerry pulled that. He
Oh
made the
wow.
call to Denver and said offer Ware the contract before another team get him. I mean, it hurt, but I'm glad that he went there and he didn't go to another NFC.
And then I like that he retired as a Cowboy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah, I like that he retired as a Cowboy.
Yeah,
Yeah. So so okay.
that's my only one. I.
Okay, what's our prediction for this weekend?
I predict Dallas win 27-14.
We're gonna win again. I mean, it's the Booty Juice Giants.
And like you said, Dak has their number.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dak has their number. I don't, it's
just
just like you said, it's just certain matchups that are just like, I don't know, he just matches up well against the Giants, and he's had
yeah,
their number for a while, and so
yeah,
yeah.
and like I said,
And then you got a new, and then you got well, I guess they both got a new. I can't say that because they both have a new system. I was gonna say you got a new quarterback, and
yeah,
so that's still to me that's still a new system.
Yeah.
it. I know that Osa, um, I definitely want to see Maris Leofau more because that little Samoan is all over the place, picking people up and everything. It got to the point where he could have got ejected out quickly with Jalen Carter, but they put him on special teams, but he was still causing mess in special teams. So you should have just kept him on the defensive line. So I want to see more Maris Leofau. I know Jack Sanborn is going to have a field day with little Russ. And get little Osa, and then get that little Cyclops dude that we got in free agency by the name of Solomon Thomas.
Jesus.
Have you seen the way this brother is built?
He looks like you say he looks like a Cyclops.
A Cyclops. So no, he's like if the Cyclops and the Hulk had a baby.
And who's CD's matchup? Adebo is that his name?
Who's going to be CD's matchup?
Adebo. It's Adebo.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I think he's got that all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They gonna they probably gonna be doing every line dance to man that is out now across that field against them Booty Juice Giants.
That needs to be a T-shirt, Kelz.
The Booty Juice Giants. Everybody and their mama will buy it. And make sure it has a Dallas Cowboys back.
Booty Juice Giants. I mean, but it's I don't think it's gonna be like a 40 burger like it was last season when we started with them. I want to say
all I know is we just make sure we bounce back and we go 1-1.
Okay,
so that we do not start this freaking season 0-2. That's all. Right. That's all I care about.
Right. So Tiffany, you said 20,
7-14.
and I
14,
think
yeah.
and I
Gerald said 27-13, almost
so I'm
identical to
yeah.
you, too.
So I'm between the 27-14, 27-13. Yeah, I'm around there.
You right, Gerald. She's like Cheryl Underwood. She do remind me of Cheryl Underwood. Oh my God,
That's
Tiffany
our rule.
crazy.
That's
Girl,
our rule.
don't bump doing this. You need to be on the comedy channel or something because you are hilarious.
Oh
Yes.
man, listen, you need to see my little rants on when I be posting on Facebook. I posted on Facebook a couple of years ago, and this is when and I don't know why they did it, but it was the HBCU um Hall of Fame Classic, and they made Patrick Mahomes like the honorary captain and everything. So he's in the sound booth and he's just talking to. And I said, I don't know if anybody else is watching this or not, but y'all heard little, I call him little Pat speak. I said, don't he sound like a junkyard mechanic that got a pot belly, wearing overall with one off of his arm, and he got a cigarette hanging from the side of his mouth talking about he could fix your carburetor for $50.
That is a very colorful description
Yes, it is.
that you have definitely given some thought.
But am I lying? But am I lying?
The next time I'm in that situation, I'll see what that guy sound like. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
That's never
I'm
gonna
have to.
happen.
I mean, because it's gonna be just like it's like I'm gonna be like,
Because he has that
who's
raspy
gonna be there?
voice. Like
Ooh,
he
don't let
has
my
that
girl Sharon
raspy
come on here because
voice.
Sharon does not play about her patty cake.
I'm just saying, listen to how he talk, and he
Oh,
like,
Sharon, I hope you're
yeah, I
not
can fix
listening.
your carburetor for $50. Yeah, that's him.
That's funny.
That's him.
That is
But
so
yeah,
funny.
I mean, I want to see, pressure. I do want to see pressure, um, on little Russ. Get Sierra out his head because I know he probably got a whole playlist in that helmet talking about some level up, my goodies, and all that other
Of
stuff.
course. And why wouldn't
Um,
he? Like, why would he listen to anything else?
I
Right?
mean, but this ain't the time. We try and knock your head off, you know. Not to where you go into concussion protocol, but still. Um, I want to see. I do want to see more George Pickens. I want to see him get more involved in this game because to me, this will be the game, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think that a lot of people will come after CD because CD's gonna feel like he's got something to prove this game.
Yeah.
right. But I
After
do know,
that crap show he did for us last week.
right. And I do know we are going to have three right now. We're going to have three running backs. Oh, I'm going to give y'all some major tea right
Go
now
on and
for
give
this
us the
game.
tea. Girl, give us the tea.
So we're going to enter this game with three active quarterbacks. Not quarterbacks, I'm sorry, running backs.
Oh, okay.
We already have three active quarterbacks. We're not
Okay.
doing that 2 plus the emergency. So we are going to have the three quarterbacks, but we're going to activate three running backs. I don't know how is it going to be Williams, Sanders, and I think give Sanders another shot because I think that drop pass changed the whole momentum of that game. And then Jaden Blue. Are we going to use him on the field too and special teams, or are we going to activate Hunter Lipke, who is the fullback of the team? Is he going to take over that third running back room? Um, we now have 52 men on the roster because Perion Winfrey has now downgraded to the IR
Right.
list.
Oh, gotcha.
So
What
Ari,
happened to my guy Zion?
they didn't activate him. So um what they did for Philly was they activated Ryan Flournoy and Buddy Johnson. And they put more of a veteran presence in
And
those
I can
roles.
understand. And I can
Yeah.
understand. I
So
can
they
understand it.
yeah, so they basically served special teams. So that's one thing I like what Shotty is doing. This is what I was hoping for Shotty to do. Like look at the matchup, look at the schedule and the matchup, and then you put people who like
Have
for
been,
those heavy hitter games, like for Philly and um for Green Bay and for Detroit. I don't know, but Detroit, they could suck the whole season, but they have all bells and whistles when it comes to playing us. But
Every
even
time.
but because Dallas is everybody's Super Bowl.
Yeah.
right, but even with Detroit we thank God we don't have them this season, but like San Fran and stuff like that.
I was
Then you
getting ready to
put
say, in San Francisco,
right
the
for
49ers always come to play.
right for teams like that, then you get the heavy hitters. But for
Yeah.
like little teams like Booty Juice, that look like they're a pee-wee team and everything, then you could kind of dial back. I mean, still don't water down your playbook, but you could sprinkle some of the rookies in and all that other stuff and someone from the practice squad. So now that we have this one person, this one man uh free spot, are we going to activate, like I'm trying to see where we need, what position needs to be activated more, like okay, take Ryan Flournoy off of special teams, because right now they put him back on practice squad because there's not a game, we already played the game. So are you going to reactivate him back to the 53 man and we have an extra receiver, or are we going to well, we can't get Phil Maffa because he won't be ready for us until week 5 or week 6, or are we going to get a linebacker, because that's a position where is most needed, that is under pressure right now. So
Mhm.
are we going to put another are we going to, besides Buddy Johnson, are we going to put another linebacker in that position? So I mean, it's so many, so many moving parts. We got and then Mozzie Smith. He's not going to be active this year. I posted the depth chart for this game and everything. So I'm telling people that was like that spoke a lot of volumes when the inactive came out and he was listed as an
As an
inactive.
inactive.
All he
Okay.
had on was a shirt with a star. So
Okay.
so now we got some draft capital
Yeah.
to
Mm-hmm.
deal with. Will Jerry make a call to get him traded? But I'm like, what team will want him?
Right.
Maybe the Chargers, because Harbaugh, he's a Harbaugh boy. Um, or are we just going to cut him? But if they cut him, they have to wait sometime in November to cut him, because he won't be so much of, because it's so high in the season right now and we're not that far out of that post June 1 date.
Hmm.
Um if we cut him now, he will really add more to the dead cap space right now. So we don't know. But Jay Toia is definitely going to take up a lot of those reps too until Perry and Winfrey and I know it's a back injury, but what a lot of people don't know, he's been having spasms.
Mm.
Mm.
And it's kind of pressing on his sciatic nerve. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay. So Mr. Brown said the Super Bowl champion will come out of the NFC East again. Eagles, Washington, or Dallas? You think are the Eagles good enough to repeat? I don't think
I
so.
don't think they're going to repeat.
I
No.
don't think they're gonna repeat either. I
I
mean, they
think
really gonna have some big changes to make between now and then, and to repeat.
so. For the AFC, if the Ravens can really conquer whatever the Achilles heel is that has been
Yeah.
going against them from actually going to the Super Bowl,
You think the Ravens?
I
I
have
like the Ravens. I'm not even gonna front.
I have the Ravens going.
Although Derrick Henry fumbling that ball the other day lost in that game.
The cane. Everybody wanted the cane. And he fumbled that. I was like, oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Well, don't
But
forget this year the NFC East plays the AFC West, so they'll have to go through them before they actually,
right.
they have to
Okay.
go through them. They're gonna have to go through Kansas City, the Chargers, the Raiders, and all of that this year. So
Right. And you
Okay.
know, oh, in the NFC East, like I was looking at I mean, had the season ended Monday, it's gonna I don't know. I mean, they were giving us a fair service.
And a step TV fan. Oh my goodness.
hmm Talking about Mozzie. Yeah, I don't think nobody want Mozzie. I don't know. Um, but I don't know. I think Washington may try to go for it. I don't see Philly repeating.
You don't see Philly repeat. Not after. I mean, again, I wasn't impressed with them. I didn't feel like they beat us. I feel like we beat ourselves,
Yeah.
which is all the time. Most of the time, we don't lose because we just get overpowered or just beat or outcoached or anything like that. Most of the time, it's self-inflicted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fumbles, interceptions. So you miss a tackle. That type of stuff.
Yeah.
The coaches put you in position to make a play and you didn't make the play.
Right. And I know like today some of the members was there, but Tuesdays are technically off days.
Mm-hmm.
But we won't see the practice report for both teams until tomorrow when they're submitted by 4 p.m. our time. And I normally
Do
get
you
it
normally
around
drop that?
Huh?
Do you normally drop that in your group?
Mm-hmm.
So Tiff, are you in Kel's group?
yes, I'm in all of her groups.
Because you need to be forwarding all her stuff out her group into your group. So
Usually
keep up with
you
it,
post
girl.
it. Kelsey,
Yeah.
she usually posts
And I
it
try
in
to
my group. Yeah.
yeah. And one thing
We
I
need to
try
put all the
not to
Cowboys fans together.
yeah. And one thing I try not to do with Tiffany's group is I try not to saturate a lot of Cowboy stuff because I know hers is not all,
No, hers is more. Tiffany's group is more
Yeah.
of
Right.
a learning group for women to learn the game of football, which
Right.
I love. I mean,
Right.
I absolutely love it. I mean, she drops, some good nuggets every day with something that teaches women. Oh, well, that's what that's what that means. And so, like I said, I wish I had her in Cleveland with us. Matter of fact, are you going to Columbus?
I don't know yet.
Okay, got you.
It's too early.
I'm booked. I say I'm booked. I'm already doing another women's clinic there, and then I'm doing a women's clinic in Miami at the college football playoffs. I'm doing a women's clinic there too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just football 101 so women can learn.
But
and
when
learn
I
the game.
normally, but I normally get access to a lot of like NFL privy information, and I'll drop it there. Like,
Yeah.
Girl, we know that's why you kills
yeah,
with the intel,
because
child.
I be
So,
like, yeah. So the NFL got $286 billion, and this is how it's going to be split up because
from where? From where?
that was everything that. So last year, the money that the NFL generated, um, and I found out so
Did
much.
you say billion?
Yes, 200
That's
this
a
year.
lot of money.
This year they got $286 billion. That is a 50, 50 a little bit over $50 billion increase from what they got the previous year. Um, and next year is going to get more because of the partnerships and all this other stuff that they got
Mhm.
going on. Each team this year got close to I want to say 300 million, but that's of course that's like cap space and all the other stuff,
Yeah.
and that um also includes the dead money, what you already have on the books for these players, and then this is what you have left. And then when it's time for the draft, I said, okay, so the draft is coming up. This is what each team has to have in their bank for the draft.
Mm.
Um, the the minimum is 14 million. You have to have at least 14 million to go into the, to the draft. The Cowboys this year had 15 million compared to last year when everybody was trying to get DeCane, since he moved to Dallas and stuff. We did not have that money to even get him because that $8 million that we had in the bank, we had to also work some other contracts around because we needed that 8 million plus whatever we could work out to go into the draft.
Mm.
But we didn't recoup all that money until the post June 1 date. And that's when some of the dead money cleared off our books. We still had a running back at that time that was still on the book by the name of Ezekiel Elliott. So, and that was 6 million right there. So, what Jerry looked at it like, well, we already paying for a running back. We might as well put him back on the roster, and that's what they
Yeah,
did.
that's what they did. Yeah.
Yeah,
mhm.
and everyone's like, every time I see him in that Baltimore uniform, I get mad at Jerry. I said, don't get mad at Jerry. I said, y'all have to remember, we also had Mike McCarthy as the head coach, who does not like to run the ball. He never liked to run the ball.
Run the
You
ball.
know
Yeah.
that from when I think he was with Cleveland Browns, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
He wasn't a big fan of running the ball. When he was the
Yeah.
head coach of the
Green
Green
Bay.
Bay, yeah,
Mhm.
when he was the head coach of Green Bay, he wanted to throw the rock. The only time
I
I
mean,
yeah, the only time I
you had Aaron
almost
Rodgers and Brett
yeah,
Favre.
yeah, and one thing about Aaron Rodgers, he could read the field. So even though the
He,
play called for Donald Driver and I forgot the
Cobb.
tight end and the other wide receiver they had.
Randall Cobb,
Yeah, Randall Cobb, of course.
my
My
guy
my
from Kentucky.
my sepia green boo him. Yeah, Randall Cobb and the tight end that they had. If Aaron Rodgers looked at the field and saw them jammed up, that was the only time he would have called the audible, and that's when you will only see Ed Lacy run.
Mm, okay. Okay.
So yeah, so I mean, he would have produced nothing if he came to us, because he just would have been a running back on a roster, and
Yeah.
he would have had no receptions, no yards. Not what he's doing in Baltimore.
Okay. So Mr. Brown said the Eagles did not lose any star players on either side of the ball, and they have more in place than any other NFL team. They are more complete at key positions. That's the reason why I thought that they had a chance of repeating, because I didn't think that they had a lot of turnover in key places. That was my reason why I thought that they would be able to do it. But and then I like how Gerald said he was impressed with the Chargers and the AFC. They play defense. So
Yeah,
I know the I think it's the defensive backs coach or whatever, Coach Clinkscale. Coach Clinkscale was at UK, and then after UK he was with Harbaugh at Michigan. And so I know him personally, and he has a great defensive mind. So he kind of helps. And
yeah,
Harbaugh took him with him from Michigan to the Chargers. So
yeah.
I know he has a great defensive mind. He's really really
Good.
like I
Yeah,
love. Yeah, he's really really good. He does a great job of developing players, and he has a great eye for that. So yeah, shout out
and
to him.
I'm looking at the Eagles schedule now. So this week they play Kansas City.
Oh
Then week 3 they have LA Rams.
oh, so they got a brutal schedule,
Mm-hmm.
Week 4 they
but a brutal schedule up front
Yeah.
sets you up for success on the back end.
exactly. So week
If
4,
you stay healthy.
So even yeah, if you stay healthy, right? If you
right?
stay healthy. So playing Kansas City and the Rams and stuff early on, even if you take losses, will help you on the back end because
Yeah.
you're able to learn from those teams that are going to be, the most competitive, to be
Yeah.
able to make those adjustments with everybody else later on. So
Yeah,
I
and
like I like a top heavy
they
you know
basically playing
schedule.
the same teams we are, except for we don't have Buffalo this year, and
Mhm.
they don't have Carolina Panthers, but most of the other teams.
Because we play Kansas City at Christmas.
Yeah.
No, Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
I mean Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thanksgiving. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
week
because me and my
4,
girls, we was all trying to go to that until I looked at the price of the tickets and I said, hell no.
yeah, and in week 4 they have Tampa Bay. That little Emeka and Buka, I was on him. I was like, Will Emeka, but we didn't get him. So, but he gave me some nice little fantasy points. Thank you, Emeka. And then week 5 they have the Broncos. Week 6 they got Booty Juice. Week 7,
My son is a New York Giants fan.
we'll tell them what their name is.
I'm gonna tell them what they name is.
Then week 7 they have Minnesota. Week 8 they're back with Booty Juice. Then week 9 they have a bye week. 10 they're gonna meet up with Micah and them. Week 11 they have Detroit.
Girl, when do we play Green Bay? Let me
Week
tell you something. Kansas City is not the same Kansas City when they got
they're
rid
not.
of when they got rid of Jadarius Sneed at corner.
Yeah.
Again, I mean he's my cousin, so of course I'm a little partial, right?
No,
So,
I
but
agree.
but
But
I
that's
feel like
accurate. That's accurate. That's accurate. My husband's a Chiefs fan, and I
uh-huh,
watch every Chiefs game.
right.
So I saw the difference. And, some might also say that they haven't looked the same since they got rid of Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he was calling some plays.
I didn't think Eric was calling the plays. I thought what's called was calling the plays.
No, Reed gave all that
I
to.
Did he give it all to Eric? Yeah, because I
Mm-hmm.
thought Reed was still calling the plays. I thought
Mm-mm.
Andy Reid
But
was still
that,
calling all the
that was
plays.
the rumor, and I think that's why it was so hard for him to get a head coaching job is because everyone thought that Andy
Thought
Reid
that
had
Andy
his
Reid was
hand in
still
his
calling
back
the
the
plays
whole
and that he
time.
wasn't the one calling the
Yeah.
plays.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then even when he came up here to Washington, I was like, that's not gonna be a good fit. But okay. Do you boo?
So why wasn't he a good fit in Washington?
Because that was under the whole Snyder regime. And it was a miscommunication. Really, it was like no communication. It was a disconnect between Riverboat Ron and him.
And him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Gerald said that Reed always called the plays.
That was Eric Bieniemy.
You know, but yeah, 38 used to be all over here. But there wasn't all the best wide receivers, he had them on lockdown.
Yeah.
So that means they stopped passing to his side of the field.
Yeah, and even with what's his name? Racy Rice.
You
Mhm.
said Racy.
She
Is
said,
it
"Race right."
Racy Rice? Little
Oh
Racy
my
Rice.
God. You got a nick. You worse than my husband. My husband has a nickname for everybody.
I do. I got some names for some of these cowboy people too. Um uh
This is gonna be
when
the year of the backup quarterback.
once he served his 6-game suspension, it's gonna be a while for him to get reacclimated.
Who?
Rice.
Oh, Rice. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah,
Mr.
this
Brown,
is
why
gonna
did
be the year
you
of the
feel
back.
like this is gonna be the year of the backup quarterback?
And I hated this year's quarterback class. Because it was only 15 that entered that was invited
That was
to
invited to the combine.
combine and that was eligible for drafting. And little Dylan he could not put no air to the ball. He was throwing low. And I'm watching the combine, was like, why am I wasting time on this day? But I know that I think the wide receivers and the tight ends was on that day as well. That was like the big day. It was the running backs, tight ends, wide receivers, and the quarterbacks. But outside of Shador, uh what's the quarterback that went to Seattle? Milrow.
Oh, Jalen Milroe from Alabama.
Yeah, him and Cam Ward.
When
And
we played Alabama, the first play of the game, my son hit him. I thought he was done. This dude comes back. We thought we took him out. Of course, he didn't do it on purpose. You know what I mean? But he hit
yeah,
him, and he had to come out, and then he came back out of playing. But my son was the one that hit him to make him have to go out. Huh. And my son had one of his best games against Alabama. Anyway,
yeah.
sorry about that. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
Girl, you
But
brought back some good memories.
yeah, I'm like out of
But they tore our ass up though.
besides those three quarterbacks,
Yeah.
the
There
rest
wasn't
of that,
nobody. Yeah, the rest
no.
of them was trash.
And I'm still trying to figure out how Dax and Dart
How he
to me, Booty Juice jumped back into the draft just to get him, and you could have got him in the second or third round.
yeah.
I'm like, you just gave us some draft capital just to get this quarterback that nobody wanted. But okay, do you, Booty Juice? Do you? We as
Yeah,
American.
I love we talked about that earlier, Mr. Brown, that this year was a record number of black quarterback. What did we say it was? 15, 14 and a half,
No,
12 and a half,
I said 15 in the pocket.
15 and a possible.
Yeah, because one tends to forget that he got some black in him. But
Okay.
that's do you, boo? Do you?
Well, your boy from the commander said that he's Japanese. He's wearing a Japanese flag on it because his granddaddy was Japanese.
Which one?
What's his name? Daniels.
Oh, little JJ got some Japanese in him.
He said his granddaddy was Japanese And on his helmet, he's going to be wearing a
For the
Japanese
heritage,
flag
yeah,
on there
yeah.
because
I know
he wants to
they're doing
acknowledge
the
his
heritage one.
Japanese heritage,
Yeah,
and he is on record as the first Japanese quarterback in the NFL.
yeah. I didn't know he had I didn't know little JJ got he had some Japanese.
Yeah, he said his granddaddy
Yeah,
was
I know,
Japanese.
and I already know Osa for our team. Osa is gonna have the Nigerian um flag.
Flag.
Phil Maffa, if he's back on, he's gonna have the Nigerian one. Maris Leofau, he's gonna have the American Samoa
Hmm.
flag.
Mhm.
Um, I'm missing one. Jay Toya is also gonna have the American Samoa one. Um, hold on, I got it right here. Why am I struggling? Um, Hakeem, Adeniji. He's
I'm
gonna,
glad you could pronounce
yeah, he's gonna have, I think he's Nigerian, so he's gonna have that as well.
it. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and Ezzy. If you can't say Ezaraku, just call him Ezzy.
Ezzy.
He's gonna have the Nigerian one on. Yeah.
Okay. Well, good stuff.
We got
Well,
we got
girl,
we got
we
a lot
are
of
an
Nigerians
hour and
on
40
this team.
minutes into this. I told y'all we not getting ready to be on here no 2 hours today.
Yeah. Because I think like on a
Tiffany,
Tuesday,
I told you it's so easy to just sit on here and just
It really is.
and I think the reason why it was like a little because it was a little bit over 2 hours.
it was
Um,
2 hours. Yeah.
yeah, I think because so much has happened during that time, like with
Yeah.
the whole Micah
Oh,
thing.
Micah
So
thing.
so
Yeah.
I had to break that thing down, and I also had what his contract was. So I'm reading contract and everything. And then we had the practice reports on top of that. So like for Tuesday, we're just doing a recap of what happened with
The
the games
Eagles.
that's
Yeah.
played because
And
like
so
I said,
then next week we'll do a recap of the
yeah,
Giants.
yeah,
And
because
then
like
whatever new news that we got, in there.
right.
And then we do know. And then we'll go into some depth because who's your all-time favorite player?
Oh,
Me or you?
Both of y'all.
Tony Dorsett all day, every day.
All day, Tony Dorsett.
Because when I was a little girl, he picked me up, and I'll never forget
Oh my
it.
God. When your dad took you to the training camp?
Yeah, so
Oh
that was when
my
they had training camp at
God.
Cal Lutheran University.
Yeah.
And yeah, before it was this big media circus as
But
it
this
is today
is
with
now,
COVID. My
yeah.
brothers got a chance to go to the locker room. It was really,
mhm.
really cool. It was
I
definitely
don't
more
know.
like felt more intimate and family
Yeah. Yeah.
oriented versus okay, you got to pay this much to be over here. If you pay
Right.
that much, you can go over there. None
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good question because it's like I really don't have
I don't have one
a
either. There's so
favorite
many
because there's so
that I
many.
love that it's
Yeah.
hard for me to pinpoint who, like I have just different positions and different eras.
Right.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like in this, in the old
True.
school era, like my husband is a Roger Staubach. That's his
Mm.
all-time favorite quarterback, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so how do you not love Emmett? But of course y'all know me.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
my last name was Bryant, and I love Dez. I love me some Dez Bryant, right?
Yeah.
But I also love me some Michael Irvin. So I
Yeah,
love, so we're in the
of
'88,
course.
you know,
Got my
and then
81.
Drew Pearson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you know, right, 81. Yeah. So it's so hard for
It's
me to
hard.
choose. Yeah, it's
And I
so
think that's
hard
where
for me
I'm
to
at too.
choose.
It depends like the era.
Depends on the
Um
era and yeah,
yeah,
like
and like of course, I love Emmitt Smith.
I
Not
love
saying
Emmett. I love Michael
bias.
Irvin. I
Yeah,
mean, how do you not love them?
yeah, and Emmett, of course, he's a Sigma. He's my frat brother and stuff. So I
Okay.
try to keep him on that list. But if I were to say out of all like current and former players that I heavily rock with, that is none other than the Manster, because I talk to him like every other day.
Who?
Randy White, the
Are
man.
you freaking serious?
I am
Wow.
freaking
Oh my
serious.
God. I would love to have Randy White on here to talk to him.
Let me call him. Let me call him and ask for one of his kids or grandkids to help set him up and stuff. Um, but yeah, like he come like, and I'm
And
gonna
then
miss him because he called me and he was like, "Hey,
mhm.
I'll be back at the CSA show," and I was like, but I'll be out of town. I was like, that's my grandmother's 85th birthday. And he was like, oh man. So he comes up here a lot for this big showcase.
Yeah.
And I'll text him, say, hey, I'm on the way, or hey, I'm here. And he said, okay, let me sign this autograph real quick. Because they do like private
Yeah.
signings and stuff.
Finance and stuff.
And then he'll come and find me and everything,
Aw.
and we just have a good time. But I remember the first
That's
time
so
I met
sweet.
him, I was in Dallas for my birthday, and we went to his tailgate that he does
Hmm.
at the Tailgate Tavern. And he saw my birthday crown. He was like, happy birthday. And I said, thank you. And he gave me a hug. And he was like, oh, you so nice and warm and soft. And I was waiting for him to say fluffy, because if he were to say fluffy, I was going to sling everything off that table. Don't call me fluffy. And
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
but he stopped at the soft. He said, I might need you to stay right here to keep me warm. I said, as long as I don't have to pay for no more autographs and you can sign everything here, I'll stay here as long as you want. And
Yeah,
he was like, so
that
your
is
birthday
hilarious.
is Christmas Eve? I said, no, actually, I said, I flew into Dallas on my birthday, the 22nd. He said, oh, you a Capricorn? I said, yeah. He said, well, I'm a January Capricorn. So, yeah, so his birthday is January 15th. So he'll call me every day on, every year on my birthday, and I'll do the same for him. And we
Oh, how
just be
sweet.
talking
Talking.
back and forth. He'll send me some money to, because he went to University of Maryland. He
Hmm.
was like, if you see any Terp stuff, get it for me and send it to
Okay.
me, yada, yada, yada. So I have a very, very good relationship with Randy White. That's my boy. And just listening to him and just talking to him, I'd be like, Randy, you don't have to you don't have to confirm or deny. But I think you've been with some black women.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bye, Tiff. We'll see you next week.
See.
I was like, I know you have.
Oh,
Cause,
Randy.
'cause just
Well,
how
before Tiff got up, I got a friend that she knows Tony Dorsett's son, Tony Dorsett Jr. or the second, or he's one of them.
he's now one of the color analysts for one of the shows on the Cowboys.
Is he? Yeah, I have
Yeah,
a
the
friend
players one.
that knows Tony Dorsett's son, and I was like, oh my God. I said I would love to have Tony Dorsett. Like I would love to have any, because Emmitt Smith, I claim him as my like real blood cousin, because my
Hmm.
grandmother is a Smith from Pensacola, and that's where my and of course we don't really know that side of the family, but my aunties were saying that that's where my grandmother originated from, and
Yeah.
Smith over from and from Pensacola, and that we're related some type of a way, and so that's how I became a Cowboys fan. Yeah.
Yeah, it was my granddaddy. And I think I shared this before. Like my
Mhm.
granddad, when the expansion happened, he became a Cowboys fan and everything. Yeah, I think I shared that on the
Mhm.
last week's show.
Mhm.
And it's sad to say, one of his favorite players just recently passed, Leroy Jordan.
Oh.
And I actually had the opportunity to meet Leroy Jordan and everything, and he was one of my grandfather's favorite middle linebacker and everything. So I was like, oh, I said you get ready to go see my granddaddy. But
Oh,
Anthony Dorsett, he's now on the Players Lounge with Demontre Moore and Barry Church and Newey Scruggs.
okay.
And I forgot that he was in the league. So when he was talking about his time in
In
the
the
league and
league. Mhm.
everything, and I was like, how did I said, I
How
forgot
you
he was
missed
in the
that?
league. I
Yeah.
missed it, but I was like, I forgot. So I'm looking it up, girl. I saw some pictures and I was like, well, goddamn.
He's so crazy.
Okay. Okay, Tony Jr. Girl, he is ripped and everything. And he's what,
Yeah.
51, 52. I was like, okay, boo, okay. But yeah, and I like how he speaks because he grew up a Cowboys fan. He said he wasn't able to play for the team, but
Yeah.
he knows how, because when his dad was
That
there and
played,
everything,
yeah.
and
Just
then he talked about the time where how, like, even with the Landry days, like the Cowboys has always had that glitz and glamour about them and everything. But when his dad went to the Broncos, like he wasn't covered nationwide like he was when he was with the
with the
Cowboys,
dashboard.
but he
Yeah.
was he was heavily covered in the Denver, Colorado media markets. And he noticed that whole difference and everything
Hmm.
growing up. But yeah, it's just hard like to pick players like favorite and stuff. That's why I tell people, I said I really don't have a favorite.
I can't really say, yeah, I can't really say. Like I said, I wear the Des Bryant jersey with Bryant on the back because my last name is Bryant,
Right.
right? And so that's just easy. So to wear the 88 Bryant because that's my name.
Yeah. And
So,
like when people see like one of
but
my
that doesn't necessarily mean that he's my favorite player. It's just,
right, it's
yeah,
just your last name. And that's just like with me, like on a couple of the personalized jerseys I have, when they see the 22, they're thinking it's Emmitt Smith. I
Emmitt
said, no,
Smith.
I have my last name. And they said, oh, so you have your last name and Emmett's number. I said, kind of, sort of, but no. It's the 22nd is the date of my birth. I was born on the
On the 22nd.
22nd of
Yeah,
December. So
yeah,
that's why I have the 22 and
with your name.
everything
Yeah.
with my name on it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because on my 50th, like on that one, that was my 50th birthday
Right.
that my daughter got me that jersey because I had turned 50. And so I have that jersey with the 50 on it. But that's what it meant. That was just
Right. Yeah.
when
And
I
I
turned
have,
50.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I
I'm
have
in
a
my 50s, right? It, did,
right.
it didn't mean anything. And it's got Terry on the back. Yeah.
Right. And also you can still wear that because that's still like a milestone,
I
a
mean,
milestone.
I'm 55 now, but I'm still, yeah,
Right.
but I'm still in my 50s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I have a jersey that says B-Day Diva, and it has my birth year on it. So when
Mhm.
they see the 82, they're thinking it's a wit. And if I have my braids and if I flip my thing and
Yeah.
they say birthday, they say, oh, so it's your birthday. Yeah. So but yeah, I haven't worn that jersey in a couple of years. I might break out with it this year because I know we play the Chargers the day before my birthday, the
Okay.
21st. I'm trying, and is that a night game? I can't remember, but I may,
May go to that one.
yeah, I might dust it off and bring it out. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll wrap this one up today. And then we will commence again next Tuesday. Girl, still almost 2 hours though.
Yeah, but not bad. We got 10 minutes remaining. But yeah,
Yeah.
we'll
Oh,
definitely
she
break
said
down.
she just said, can you both tell how you became a Cowboys fan?
Um, I thought,
She said through
yeah,
her granddad. Yeah.
we shared that before. My granddad, his was more so like a generation thing because at the time, like my granddaddy's from the Virginia area, South Boston, Virginia, but he lived in Richmond. At the time, the then Washington Redskins was under the ownership of George Preston Marshall, who was a starch segregationist and a racist. He did not want any blacks on the team. He said the only thing that blacks were good for was taking fares for the car, cleaning, and cooking at the stadium. And at the time, they played at Griffin Stadium, which is now the Howard University Hospital. And they didn't want no blacks, so my granddaddy went. They turned them away. The AFL, NFL merged. The Cowboys got the expansion to play, and the Cowboys was one of the few teams at the time that integrated the league, and that's how he became a Cowboys fan.
That's a great story. That's a great story. Well, how I became a Cowboys fan is, again, like I said, when I think we was home for a family reunion, or I was asking. I got old enough to start asking questions about our lineage, and my grandmother is a Smith from Pensacola, which is where Emmett is from, and
Mhm.
they said that we were some kin, some type of way, but I never did I never really did the full research to verify it. I just claimed it.
Mhm.
And so, yeah. And so, because Emmett Smith was the Dallas Cowboys and I thought he was my cousin, that's how I became a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Yeah. And like with my story, that's why you see a lot of Cowboys fan that's in the Washington D.C. area.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, interesting. All right, girl. Well,
All
thank you.
right.
Yeah, y'all, Kelz with the intel. When I tell y'all Kelz brings the intels, how do we follow you sis? How do we follow you on social media? Because you be dropping the knowledge. If you're a Cowboys fan, y'all need to be
I know
following Kelz with the
somebody said I should
intels.
start a whole news, like a whole sports thing, like a Instagram sports thing. But I run too many
Too many of them
Instagrams
already.
anyway. So I may start posting some tidbits on my personal one. But I am on Instagram at Blue Paparazzi. Um I'm on I am doing another show, a pregame and postgame show that's going to be on Built Different Group on Facebook. But that show is also on YouTube under Cowboys Unifier. We do have our pregame show coming up on Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Um, yeah, you could just find me there.
There you go. If
And I'm
you're
also and I'm on Facebook at Kelli C. Collins.
okay, so if you guys are Dallas Cowboy fans like we are, Kelz with the intels has all the tea, as
Yeah.
y'all can see. She comes on and drops and gets us all the way together when it comes to all the details on what's going on with the Dallas Cowboys. So I'm gonna leave it with this. How about them Cowboys?
How about them? And let's go get these booty juice giants. Yeah.
Let's go beat these Giants.
Yeah. I don't even know if they're gonna play man on zone, but I'll definitely know
Okay.
that by
Well, girl, drop it. I'll be
yeah.
looking forward to find out what's going on. But what time's the game come on? Is it prime time?
It's a
Is that an 8 o'clock
1 o'clock
game?
game. It's a
A
one.
1 o'clock game?
Yeah, it's been a minute since we had a home opener that's 1 p.m. Most of the time our home
We're
openers is like
always at prime time. We're either 4:30, or we're either the 4:30 or the
or
prime
like the
time
Sunday
8:30
night.
Sunday night
Yeah.
or Monday night football. Yeah, like this past
Yeah.
week, Thursday night. So yeah, but normally we're the prime. Yeah, we're on the prime time.
Yeah, and I'm definitely going to be running from church to
Yeah, see,
the
that's why
bar
I had to
to the
find a
bar where
church
we
that
have.
made sure that they was out before 1 o'clock.
Yeah, we've gotten better with that, because when we used to have 2 services. If it was a 1 o'clock game, they already know I was going to be at the 7:30
Right.
service. But I also have a fan club, which you see.
Mhm.
It
The
was listed
DC.
on here.
Oh, no, it's on here. Hold on. Let me bring it back up.
Yeah, so I do have a
The
fan
DC
club
Nation
up
Fan
in.
Club of Washington, DC.
Yeah, and we just last month we celebrated 8 years as
Congratulations.
as a fan club. Thank you. So I know Sunday, as soon as the benediction hits, I have to be on my way to where we have our watch parties at and everything.
Okay.
This is a 1 o'clock game. Normally between like church service, and if it's a 4:25, I have enough time to
Yeah,
run
because
home real quick
normally
and
we play at 4:30. If it's not
yeah,
4:30 or prime time, we play the 4:30 game. Yeah.
yeah. And I was hoping, I was like, dang, why Chicago couldn't be at 1 instead of 4? I said, this the game that should have been like the America's game of
America's
the night.
dream.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Oh
yeah.
well. Well, all right, sis. I
All right,
appreciate
sis.
you, Mr. Brown and Mr. Jackson and all our girls that came by, V, all y'all that came on. Thank y'all, everybody that came on. And how about them Cowboys? And we'll see
How
y'all
about
next
them?
next Tuesday.